Hello everyone, my name is Matt Scorpion and welcome back to Destiny 2. Now, at current, basically, at least I believe, this is the last week of Solstice, because these weeks are usually 3-week events. That being said, in case you wanted to visit Eververse, get anything from there, get your rolls on the new hand cannon, or that shotgun, any of those time loader things, or just finish your armor glows, finish up all that sort of stuff for Solstice. I believe it is ending next Tuesday. So if there's anything you need to do, now is the time to do it, and I will warn those that have purchased some stuff, at least at the end of this, in terms of Solstice, the event card and event tickets will both expire. So, if there's anything here that you wanted to get, I would recommend you, finish it and do it just so that you don't waste time and, miss out. But aside from that, it's time to get into the reset and how things have changed in the world. So that being said, starting with the Vanguard as usual, it is currently for Grandmaster the Acadian Valley in the Inverted Spire, which is a not so hard Grandmaster, if you would actually believe me. Now, there is an Arc burn, so I might say spec for Arc, get those Storm Chasers or Tarantulas in case you don't have them. But in terms of setups, it is Empath for increased melee damage, as well as Barrier Unstoppable foes, because you'll be seeing many Vex and Cabal, but more Cabal. But then at the same time, Chaff for no radar. Then the usual Grandmaster modifiers of Match Game, Equipment Lock, Extinguish, Limited Revives, and Mob Champions for more. Then we also have all 3 shields in terms of shielded combatants, so I'd say spec accordingly. But there is also double Nightfall drops. So, in addition to that, we have incoming Arc and environmental damage increase with the acute Arc burn, so Arc is definitely hurting a lot. But if you actually go through the Grandmaster, you can get a roll of Hothead Adept, which is a very good rocket launcher. If you get rolls like this with auto-loading and lasting impression, not to mention just straight up Adept big ones, and of course all the Adept mods, because I would definitely recommend that, because this is a solid rocket launcher. Plus, it's Arc. In case you get one, it can help you farm in case you didn't get any Storm Chasers to drop. But aside from that, into the rest of the world, Gambit has nothing going on per the usual. But in terms of Crucible, we do have Momentum Control active. So if you manage to actually pull off Salvage or Salvo or some of the cheesy weapons and wanted to farm some kills into Momentum Control, whether it's for Solstice or just for the Pinnacles or just for doing stuff in Momentum Control, it's completely up to you. But like I said, Iron Banner is no longer with us and shall not be back till next season, and won't be back until at least the next few seasons, or next few weeks into the season. So expect Trials to be your end game PvP experience for the week. But then into the rest of the world, currently our rotating dungeon is Prophecy. So if you wanted to finish Prophecy, get a Pinnacle off of that, you can. But as well, let's see, last week, what was it's Deepstone Crypt for our current active rotation raid. So that being said, all 4 of the challenges are active per the usual, with Security, Atrax, Nuclear Descent, and Tanix the Abomination. So if you wanted to farm some gear off of that, now is a good week to do that. Crypt always has some good weaponry, and there are probably still some of the best kings of shotguns and sniper rifles in this raid. But into the rest of the world at the Throne World. Currently, for our Vow to Disciple, I almost said Preservation, is Looping Catalyst, which is Rolk Challenge, which is pretty much never lose the buff if you can afford to, and don't break the crystal to regain the leeching buff. It's not that hard of one as long as you do it right and you don't fail on losing the leeching buff. But it is intellect focused armor in case you want to do it on master mode. But into the rest of the Throne World activities for the weekly mission, it is the Ritual, which is the last mission from the Witch Queen campaign. So, if you want to grind out some stuff with the repeating missions, now is the time to do that there. But then again, with Wellspring, it is starting off on defense with a grenade launcher, but then it goes from there for the rest of the week. Now, into the rest of the world currently with the Helm, it is the Cosmodrome Psyops Battlegrounds, but and with Dares of Eternity currently, we do have, for Legend mode, in terms of the rotation, it is Hive, Fallen, and Vows to Arc for the 3 steps. Now, if I do recall, currently all of our challenges have actually come to fruition, as we just had week 10. Yes, we don't have any more seasonal challenges to be unlocked. It's going to be pretty much just cleaning up whatever else you have left in the challenge slot. We shouldn't be getting anything new because there's no new Solstice challenges, no new seasonal challenges, but aside from that, that is all to learn. that is all to earn in terms of the season. It's pretty much wrapped up unless there is a last few weeks of seasonal story that pop up somewhere. Now, last thing to cover is the weapons that Banshee has, and let's see. We have Percy's D, which is a pretty solid scout rifle in terms of a high impact frame. Definitely good set of rolls on perks in terms of barrels and mags you can get in all sorts, but also has some good rolls. Rapid hit focused fury is an option. Headstone is always a great one, as well as Lunatula, which also can roll with Headstone, which on a bow is pretty nice, but then also has some other rolls. Plus, it's another Viced one, so you can get Vice Stinger to maybe proc. But you know, pretty solid options on both of those. But then we also have Annual Skate, which is possibly one of the best PvP hand cannons that have been introduced to date, which, although it doesn't have an origin perk, can have some great rolls like Slide Shot and Time Payload. Always great. Then we have a Viced Sidearm. Moving on. Then we also have Memory Interdict, which is one that can roll with some good rolls like Chain Reaction, which is always good for clearing a room in one single grenade. But the other rolls, I think it can have Clown Cartridge in this pot, but you know, it's still a grenade launcher. Ever since the aggressive frames were taken away, they haven't been great. But then we also have Typhon GL5, which is good because it has its origin perk, which always gives it a nice little cherry on top, but can get some good steady rolls on it as well, like Wellspring, Demolitionist. Both of those can roll on this, and because it is stasis, it can apply to your stasis builds per the usual. But aside from that, there's pretty much everything to do with reset, as not much has actually happened since the start of Solstice. Like I said before, Solstice unveiled everything it had to offer right at the start, so there isn't much new to actually happen about it. And with that, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.